Hey guys, do you need a website as soon as possible? Or maybe your website needs a little bit of a facelift? If you don't have the budget for a full-on custom design, listen up. The Styled Square creates fully customizable Squarespace website templates that are so easy to use and maintain your beautiful aesthetic, but more importantly, their websites are built for seamless user experience that will lead to conversion, also known as making money. Who doesn't love that?
Think of the templates as your website building blueprint. Grab a coffee and make the template your own. Just change the fonts, colors, and imagery, and boom, a beautiful and functional website at a fraction of the price. Isn't that just the best? To learn more about the Styled Square website templates, head to thestyledsquare.com and use our exclusive promo code CheckYourAesthetic15 to save 15%. Goodbye, website struggle bus. Hello, Styled Square.
Hey guys, Katie and I just found the cutest strap, Erica's Electric Edits. Erica sells these trucker hats that Katie and I are obsessed with. We want to get the matching orange and pink ones with the smiley face on it. Love it. And she also sells stickers, happy hour glasses, and tote bags, all handmade and shipped by her out of Texas. Just like Katie and I, Erica started her business in college and turned her hobby into a career. Coincidentally, we also have a discount code for you for 20% off. What serendipity. Use code CYA20 to get 20% off of your order at her website, www.ericaselectricedits.com, and be sure to follow her over on social media at Erica's Electric Edits on all platforms to keep up with her new launches and new items. Again, that code is CYA20 for 20% off at www.ericaselectricedits.com.
Hey guys, I'm Katie.
And I'm Alexis, and this is the Check Your Aesthetic podcast. Hello, Katie.
Hi, I'm burning hot. It is so hot in my room right now.
Oh.
I always want to have my fan on, but for the sake of the audio, I don't. So you are welcome to everybody listening, but I'm burning hot.
The same thing, I'm not burning hot, but the same thing is happening where I have to turn my AC off and I have to shut the door for the audio. So, Yep, definitely.
Also, I just wanted to cover before you guys hear all the sniffles. I, as you know from last week's episode, I was like, I have allergies. No, I have a sinus infection. So don't worry, guys. I've been COVID tested twice. It's not COVID, but, I had to get on antibiotics. I was down and out. I went home and literally was passed away in the bed. I was I don't even know why I came home. I was just very sick. But yeah, so I have the sniffles. It's because I have a sinus infection, but.
Yes. And also, I still am I'm not allowed to wear makeup for a few more weeks, I think. I haven't really confirmed when I'm allowed to wear makeup again, which that's just for me, I'm this is weird. But the thing that they thought I might have that was kind of scary, I don't have. I tested negative.
Yay.
Yes. So very exciting. There was a good.
We still don't know what it is, though.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, so kind of scary. But the thing that was scary that it could have been, I don't have. So that's good.
So we've knocked one thing off the list.
Yes, knocked one bad thing off the list. But before we talk about anything, I want to say that today's episode we had Jenni B. Rhodes on. She is a little content creator queen, and we loved having her on so much. Katie, you have anything? You've been following her for a while, so you want to say anything?
Yeah, I've been following Jenni for probably a year now. She has the most fun fashion sense. She creates really cool graphics. A lot of her graphic design is integrated into photos, so she designs on photos. You'll understand if you go to her page, but so we just chatted with her about influencing and kind of the fashion side of her page, as well as freelancing, kind of what routines she has in her day that help her be successful. That is something that whenever I listen to podcasts, I just always love when they ask people what routines they have that make them successful. So I've just started putting that in every single interview with guests. So hope you guys like that question too, because I've put it everywhere.
Too. Yes, I think really truly I've been looking a lot more into productivity and the mindset that
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have, girl.
I haven't said anything yet. You don't. They don't know what you're talking about.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, yes!
And they're like, but no, I heard something recently that was like motivation. Oh my God, my audio just dropped. Sorry, guys.
Nobody can hear.
Nobody can hear. But no, I was just thinking like, I heard something that was basically like, motivation is not the determining factor of productivity. It's like this, like the strategies and like plans that you set up
That's a good
for
mindset.
Yourself. Yeah, because like motivation is like a fluctuating thing, whereas like productivity doesn't need to be, and I think that that's so interesting to think about. And like I totally do have, like, I fall into, like, if I'm not feeling motivated, then it's probably not going to get done,
I was thinking about that, like, a lot recently because I think during COVID, I literally was just, like, chilling all the time. And, like, I've been trying to set more routines for myself recently, but I've gotten into the habit where I feel like I think it's normal to watch, like, 8 episodes of TV a day. And, like, if I can't fit that in, I'm like, God, like, I can't fit all the things in. I've had such a hard day. Like, I have to take care of myself. But, like, 1 episode of Love Island is enough. I don't need to watch 8.
No, I completely agree. Honestly, this is super embarrassing to say, but, like, I think also it's a struggle because COVID, but then also we randomly just became our own bosses, like, without really knowing, or like planning it. And so what I've noticed is, like, I get tired so much faster than I used to. Like,
You gotta, like, build your stamina back up, basically.
Yeah, and I feel like I really need to do that. I mean, something that Jenni talked about was, like, getting up earlier in the day.
That's something I'm really trying to do.
And, like, I really am trying to do that. Like, my aunt and I just planned, we're gonna go to breakfast on Saturday, and she's like, I'd like to get there at 8 a.m. And I was like, like, I have to go get her and, like, drive to the breakfast place for 8 a.m. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So, I feel like something that, like, okay, so I guess both of us have kind of made some moves with our businesses. I announced kind of where my business is going. I am going to start, basically, I'm a self-care business now, so.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted, guys. But I'm, like, redoing my website and everything, so all of my products are going to be kind of about, taking care of yourself, mental wellness, mental health, all the quotes on my page and all that good stuff. So that's what you'll be seeing from me. So I hope y'all are excited. Go to my Instagram for more details. But now that I'm taking my business more seriously again, and working part-time, I've realized, like, I have to have a schedule or else I literally can't do it. Like, the reason it feels so overwhelming is because, like, I don't have a schedule, and it's just like, oh, whenever I feel like working, I can work. But, like, girl, that don't work.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
So what I'm, like, trying to do is, like, especially, I mean, I'm sick right now, so it's kind of harder, but, like, waking up, working out, getting some work done, then going to work, then coming back, working on Kitty Creative Co. from this time to this time, and then still having that me time, but I don't need 8 hours or, like, 4 hours a day of me time that's just watching TV. Like, girl, no.
Yeah.
I think I just got so used to it, and it's hard coming out of college, and I think it's hard for anybody, but.
And I think COVID, like, just in general, like, we got really accustomed to sitting on the couch doing nothing for hours on end. And, like, and also just having, like, things, like, fed to us. I also want to start, reading books and, like.
Same. I'm so tired of consuming digital media all the time. It's just, like, especially when that's your job, it literally, like, my job is social media, so is yours.
Yes.
It's literally exhausting and draining.
Yeah. Because you feel like, oh, I'm going to go take a break, sit on the couch, and then what do? You go to Instagram, and that's what your job is. So, like,
exactly.
That's
not really a break.
Yeah, that's not really a break.
And I've tried to be better about, like, separating, like, I am on Instagram for work right now versus, like, I'm on Instagram for pleasure.
And it's so annoying because, like, you can easily, like, flip between the, like, all the accounts, and it's just, like, it's, but anyway, I guess Katie has more of a plan than I did. Like, Katie's been working on this. I mean, she just announced it. Love it, Katie, by the way. I mean, I feel like I'm an integral part of this because I feel like
You actually run the business?
Yeah. No, just kidding.
You actually created the business?
Katie did all the work, but I just approved of things, I feel like.
That's how we are for each other. We're like each other's sounding boards. Like, to, like, basically, if I didn't have you, though, like, I don't think I'd arrive at any of these, like, things, because I've talked about in previous episodes, like, I kind of just arrived at, like, this is what my business has been meant to be the whole time. It just didn't have any direction.
And that was
So now
when
I've got,
you and I sent each other voice messages and
Yes,
didn't
we
listen
were
to them,
literally just,
and
like-
we both said it at the same time.
Exactly. We said at the same time, like, self-care, and we were saying things like products. I'm not going to give away
Yeah.
the products, but, like, we were saying, like, literally product types at the same time, and that's when I was like, this feels right.
Yeah.
And, like, although it may seem vague to you guys right now, like, it's going to be more clear when my new website comes out, like, exactly what it is, but it's really just, like, the whole purpose of my business is, like, to help you guys surround yourself with things that make your life better and help you, like, make your self-care time, like,
being
prettier, more beautiful.
More aware of like taking time for yourself and like mental health and self-care and like escape.
And y'all see kind of how that like plays into the business side.
I'm really excited for it.
But you did, we're like sounding boards for each other the same way that I am a sounding board for you with your stuff that you're working on too.
Exactly. So Katie started this process like a little bit earlier than I did, and I haven't, like, I just honestly, I think it was like 2 days ago that I was sending you a lot of messages. It was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I did a good amount. 2 days ago and then yesterday. But yeah, I'm getting more excited about my Instagram and my business. And yeah, I mean, like, I've honestly taken like a pretty big break from Instagram for the past couple months. I just like was not inspired whatsoever. And I think that like a lot of the problem, Katie and I've talked about this on the podcast and at length in person. And like, I think that one of the biggest issues was that neither of us really started like with a plan. Like we just kind of like got thrown into this and it just kind of happened. And so I think with that, I kind of got confused as to like what I want to be in my business and on social media.
Yeah, and we mentioned, like, we'd both said, like, if people asked us, like, what kind of business we were like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I sell things that I drew. I don't know. Like,
yeah, exactly. So I realized that, you know, Katie has her aspect of, like, self-care, and I was thinking, like, I mean, I'd already kind of had these things in my head, but I think I was, like, pushing back on it and being like, no, that's too niche. No, that's too weird. That's, like, not really, like, no. But I realized, like, I won't go in too much into it, but I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. It might take, like, a little while for you to start seeing these things. But basically planning and organizational stuff, that is stuff that I've been obsessed with since I was literally, like, a kid. Yeah. And that is just, like, such a huge part of my personality. And I think, like Jenni said in the episode that you guys are about to listen to, like, being true to yourself within your account and your business is, like, imperative. So I think
it's the only way that things will, like, last, because if you're pretending to be somebody else, you're always looking to somebody else. And, like, something that I used to notice before is, like, I was 100% guilty of not necessarily copying, but, like, basing my entire business off of other
somebody
people.
Else, yeah.
And, like, if those people stop posting, then you're like,
what do I do now?
Yeah. So, like, you need to be able to have it, like, in yourself, and, like, have something to go back to, I feel like.
Yeah, and I also think, like, passion can only really come from, like, within. I don't think you can, like, derive passion from... Thank you. I don't think you can...
from within.
I don't think you can, like, derive that from, like, someone else. You know?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So, yeah, but I'm getting really excited about it. I did think earlier, I was like... before we started the podcast, I was thinking, like, I wonder if I'll say anything about my new ideas. And then I was like, what if I do? And then I just never do any of that. So my
People
plan...
are, like, waiting and they never happen.
My plan is, guys, okay, give me, like, 2 weeks. And then if I haven't, just please DM me and be like...
like, berate her with DMs.
Please be like, you are a bad person. Like...
You are a liar and you are making false promises.
Yeah, please.
Oh my God.
So, wait, what is 2 weeks from now? August, let's say 2 weeks from, the 23rd. August 23rd. If I haven't done anything, please, like, bully me. I would really appreciate it.
Absolutely love it. Okay. Well, that's what's going on with us, but now what you really came here for, what's going on with Jenni. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get... Hi, Jenni.
Hi.
We are so, so excited to have you on. We had, as always, technical difficulties before we started recording.
There is no Check Your Aesthetic podcast without some technical difficulties.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Of course, we are so, so excited.
Thank you for coming
on. You
yes.
guys are so sweet.
I have followed you, I feel like, for so long. I don't even know when I found you, but I think you followed me whenever I found you. I don't know. Just so cool to meet internet friends in real life.
Yes. Yes, it really is.
E-life, you know. But yeah, gotta love it. Okay, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get into the questions. So I think, like you said, or like we mentioned in the intro, you're a graphic designer and content creator. But I'm sort of using the word influencer lightly. I know that it's kind of like a shady word. But I do feel like you have a lot of like fashion content, and stuff like that. So kind of what got you started with content creating and sharing that kind of stuff on Instagram? And like, did you consume that before? Kind of what's your story with that?
Right. I feel like it's very common to say the word influencer. But I do like to refer to myself as a content creator just because like I do create like other stuff like in like graphic design and things like that. So content creator kind of just like is a more vague name, I guess, for it. But so what got me started? So I've actually always loved like fashion and like trends and things like that. And like during COVID, I started just like posting more consistently on Instagram and posted more about like what I was wearing, what I was doing. I posted more about like my graphics and things like that. And I just started posting like more consistently every day. I mean, I had like so much time. I didn't really have like any internships or anything like that.
We know that well.
And I had just finished my second to last semester in college. So I just graduated in December. So yeah, I had a lot of free time, so I was creating a lot of graphics and just sharing more about my life on social media. And then it wasn't until December of 2020 when I like reached out to my first brand and started, like I met up with one of my best friends now, Taryn. We kind of like, or she just kind of like shared a lot about like content creating and how to reach out to brands, how to even do the thing. Like I was just kind of doing it because I loved it and because I just wanted to fill my space with something that I loved and that I was passionate about. But yeah, that's kind of like how I've gotten into it. And I've always really loved like the world of influencing, and I've always like followed so many cool people and like wanted to do it, but I didn't know how. Like I didn't know how to do it. I think that was the thing of like how to go about like reaching out to a brand. That was like scary to me. But I think like posting more consistently helped me a lot, just like knowing like who I wanted to be on social media.
Finding your voice kind of.
Yes, exactly. Exactly that.
So you said that you like were inspired by a bunch of people. Are there any specific people that you would be inspired by, or someone that you kind of like look to as like a big sister in the influencing content creation world?
Yes. Okay, so I knew that I wanted to like, okay, so before going into it, before like starting, I guess you would say, I've always heard that you need to be like unique and find like your own voice, and that's the only way to like grow is to be unique and not be the same as like yourself, everyone else. And so my form of being unique was to like combine my two passions, which was graphic design and fashion, and because you don't really see that a lot. So that was like the two topics or niches, I guess, that I wanted to like focus on and make that like my thing, I guess. So starting, I had like so many people that were influencing me. Tatiana, well, I guess we could start off with like fashion influencers. Like, okay, I'm definitely gonna butcher these names.
Like, we are very familiar with butchering names.
Okay, so Barbara Christofferson. I love her fashion sense. Yes, I love her fashion sense, photo inspo, everything like that. I love everything about her and her personality. And then I don't know if you guys know Louisa Pau. I hate that I'm saying it wrong. Luisapou, Luisa Pau, I think that's how you say it. But I love her aesthetic, and
Oh, she's cute.
photo
Yeah.
inspo is like my go-to. And things like that. And then, of course, like Delaney Childs, Kemper on Joe and Kemper, or Kemp. And then MJ Hederman, I love her and her TikToks and everything like that. She's definitely a big inspo for me right now. And then, like, graphic design-wise, I would definitely say, like, Tatiana I don't know how to say her last name either. Saosh or something. Do
Yeah,
you
I
guys know who I'm
don't.
talking about?
She's amazing. She
She
actually
is.
has a business that is a sponsor of the podcast, which is amazing. But yeah, I think it's Soch or Saush. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but we love her here.
Yes. Okay, she's so like creative, always keeping me on my toes. I'm like,
Yes.
what is
Yeah.
she gonna post next? Because everything she does is so creative and cool. I love her,
Yes.
and she's so sweet too. And she's having a baby now.
I
I
know.
saw that.
I know. I saw that. So exciting.
I know. I love her to death. And then, of course, all things Lillian is definitely a big inspo for me.
Classic.
She's just like full of positivity. I just love her.
Yeah.
And her
I feel like
aesthetic.
she was probably one of the first people who like did, and I think she started like way heavy with design, but then also started to integrate like fashion, which I feel like she was like one of the first people who did that ever, which was cool. We love her too.
Yeah, I love her so much. And she does YouTube too, which I think is cool
Yes.
to like show more about her like behind the scenes of her life and things
Yeah, it's
like
another
that.
way
Yeah.
to like add personality, because I think like with Instagram, it's like you can get the sense of someone's personality, but there's like this like little layer that like
Yeah.
you can't really get to, but with YouTube, I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've been interested in. Or like maybe I want to like take a little step
You've
into
thought
the
about
YouTube
it.
world. Yes.
Yes. I feel like TikTok is like a mini YouTube for like content creators because
Yep.
it gives you like a taste of that. Because like I everybody's probably tired of hearing me say this. I had a YouTube
Katie's
channel in
YouTube
middle
channel.
school. But I've always been a huge YouTube consumer. But I noticed that like I get the same feeling from TikTok sometimes. It depends on the content, but yeah, I love video content and I love YouTube.
Agreed.
But
And
yeah, I love
that's-
how she did that.
And like video content is like the new Instagram apparently.
I know. But my first, like the first way that I ever consumed influencers was YouTube. Like that was like, I've watched YouTube since I was a teenager. Like before even influencers were even really a thing, like I was watching them on
I did
YouTube.
too.
So
Always YouTube.
Same.
yeah, super cool. Okay, love all of those people. Wow, just got so many new people to follow. I need to get all their usernames from you and I'll put them on the podcast story.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about how Taryn kind of helped you with this, but when in your journey did you start reaching out to brands and kind of how did you go about it? Like you said, it can be really like daunting. So kind of how did you start doing that?
Yeah, it can be really scary because you're just putting
Yeah.
yourself out there. You're being How do you say it?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Yes, I know I was butchering that too. Okay. But I definitely was scared going into it. Of course, like everyone probably is. At first, but so I started reaching out, or my first brand that I reached out to was in December of 2020, and Taryn basically gave me all the advice and was like, you need a media kit, you need to like kind of write out a little like blurb. And it's also something that maybe is said, but also I kind of just like found out on my own is that it's so normal to get rejected from brands.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you first start
Yeah.
out. It's so normal because like you got to think like how many they're actually getting in one day is
Right.
Oh, yeah.
a crazy amount. So you just got to like keep pushing, there's so many brands on Instagram that you can like reach out to, like 20 a day if you even have the time. Like you can reach
Wow.
out to so many. And like, to be honest, when I first started, I was reaching out to like almost 20 a day, like basically saying like, I was trying to be like, made them more personal,
Right, not just some like mass message that you send to
Right.
everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And I would kind of say along the lines of like, "Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm excited to be reaching out to you. This is what like I love about your brand." And then go along the lines of like, I would love, or I'm looking for collaborations for like the next month or things like that. Like I'm looking to start collaborating next month. Yes. And then like, if you,
In the future.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you can say like I normally like reach out on DMs. I found like that was the best way to
Okay.
like get
A response.
yes, a response back faster was through DMs compared to like email where you just don't know if they're even gonna see it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
DMs is like something that like I went to, but I would say along the lines of like I'm looking for an email to discuss this further. If you're interested, like please get back to me, and then just leave it like that. And then you just
Yeah.
kind of have to wait around, and then you'll get your first one, and you'll be so excited. And I remember my first brand. It was just like I don't know, it was just like a new experience, and I just found like a new passion for it, creating
Totally.
content and things like that. So I don't know, it's really fun. I really enjoy it. And it's like honestly, I've found myself, I think, through influencing.
Aw. That is
I
so
love that.
fun.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about myself, and like I wouldn't even be here today if I didn't start.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you first send the DM and then you get an email, and then I'm assuming that from that email then you send the media kit.
yes, okay.
Okay. So what do you include in the media kit?
Okay, so honestly, not many brands will even ask for your media kit.
Really?
Yes, I had maybe like a few, like a handful. Some people
Okay.
will just respond back with through DMs. They'll be like, we can do it through DMs. Like, just go ahead and select your favorites from our website and send your address and sizes, and we'll get those sent over to you. And you're like, wait, what? That's
Okay.
how. That's how.
Yeah.
For real?
And then it just happens through DMs. But then other people will be like, it honestly is very rare for a brand to ask
That's
for your
Media
media
kit.
crazy.
That's
but
crazy.
what I do include in my media kit when I am asked, it is nice to just have one ready and like
Totally.
update
So you
Yeah.
it.
just yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing where I'm like, oh crap, I really haven't updated that thing in a while. Like I need to go update it before I send it over. But what I do like to include in my media kit is, of course, like a photo of you, an updated like recent photo of you that you love and that you feel like confident in, and then like a little brief description, and then of course like all of your stats. So for Instagram, I do like followers, impressions, profile visits, your average likes and saves. And then I also include my audience, so like women to male like ratio, and then like your like age group. That is also um, included in like you can find that all in your insights. And then I also include my TikTok stuff just because like TikTok is like the number one thing that people are loving, and like honestly the number one way to like grow, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So like through TikTok I include my followers, my most viewed video, and then like total number of likes. And then once you like start working with more brands, you can include like your list of brands that
Yeah.
you work with, as well, to just like show who all you've worked with in the past.
Love that. Okay, I have a question that I just thought of. So I guess like truly as an influencer, like you really are like a business or a content creator. And I mean you even more than just somebody who's only influencing. You really are like a businesswoman because I mean you do freelance graphic design as well, which we'll touch on. But like you are pitching yourself. It's just like yourself is the brand. Like it's like you're working for a business, but it's yourself. So like you said, like you've like found yourself, like does that like I mean I would assume it gives you like confidence to like advocate for yourself and stuff like that. Like can you just talk about a little bit like more of like that side of things?
Like finding myself through
Yeah, just kind of like what
Your
it's like given,
personal
like the
ti-
skills
yeah,
that
your-
it's given
yeah.
you.
Okay. I feel like a few skills that I've learned through like photography, editing, things like that. when I first started college, like I've taken a few photography classes, but it really wasn't until like I was like hands-on, like editing all my
Yep.
photos, selecting the best ones. Um, Also with like being professional with emails and things like that is a big one, because like you want to put your best self forward and be professional so they take
Yeah.
you professional back. So that's like really important. And then also with like staying consistent and like holding yourself accountable throughout
Yeah.
social media is a really big one, and that was hard for me.
Yep.
I definitely think breaks are important, and if you think you need a break from social media, you definitely should take it, because I've definitely taken a few in the past, and it's helped me tremendously. But yeah, I think staying consistent and just like holding myself accountable um, through everything, every aspect of social media. And I feel like consistency was definitely the hardest thing for me at first, because like I would post a lot and then I would just like get down on myself and then be
Yeah.
like I don't want to do this, or I'm not really seeing any growth. And it was definitely hard at first to like keep it going and keep pushing yourself to like posting, engaging with other like-minded people is definitely a big one. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
a few things that I've learned.
I feel like so many people that like had a lot of time in COVID, then like going out of that, everyone had so much time and like energy to put on one thing, and then all of a sudden like life gets back to normal and you can't keep up with that, and then you're like, oh, okay, well now I don't know what to do with myself. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, that was a struggle for me. Going, because, okay, so like I graduated in December, and that's like also when I knew what my full time job was going to be, which was going to be a graphic designer and marketing associate at a boutique here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I live. But so I knew that I was going to be going into that full time, but I also knew that I wanted to take on like freelancing, and like I wanted to
Yeah.
be a freelancer. That was like my dream job, and it's crazy to think that I'm even doing that right now. But it was really hard to juggle like my full time job and then also like content creating. Um,
100%.
I was doing stuff on the weekends. At
Yep.
night, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
honestly stressing myself out because I wouldn't
Yep.
even sleep enough.
Yep.
I was lacking sleep, and I would just like wake up super early, which now I'm thankful that I have that routine. I think we're gonna get into that, but I would just wake up at like 6 o'clock, and then I wouldn't get to work until 10. So I would have a few hours to
I'm
like
trying
make
to
my
get like that.
graphics. I
Yeah.
would, because like I think graphics is one thing that you have to like plan around, like time
Yep.
to
Yeah.
edit and design things. So I would wake up in the morning, try to get that done, and then also like edit and have my post ready for the day before I went into work. So that way, like on my lunch or on my break, I could just like post and then
Post it.
engage a
Yep.
little bit.
Yep.
And then by the
Yeah.
time you get off work, and then you're like engaging more and doing other stuff. So
Yep. It really takes up just like all of your time.
Yeah,
Literally.
I'm currently like working part-time, and then obviously like running my business and stuff, and I've kind of like ramped it up more, which yay. But I've got to wake up earlier, because especially with like taking pictures, sometimes when I get back from work, like there's no more light. There's
Yep.
not, especially
In
during
Vermont,
the winter.
that is so hard.
Yeah,
It
so you
is
just
so
have to
dark.
like, you just got to make it work.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel that.
yeah. One
very
thing
hard.
that I also did was on the weekends, I would like batch out my content.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like on a Saturday or Sunday, I would literally take the full day and then just
Yeah.
go out.
Is that all
and
like influencing stuff, or is that all like graphic design type of stuff?
influencing stuff? I think
Okay.
I would mainly focus on graphics in the morning or at night, just because I'm
Okay.
also like a last minute type of person. Like if I just posted a graphic, I probably just did it within the past 2 hours.
If I sit with a graphic too long, I'll literally be like, I hate it, can't post it. So I literally have to post stuff immediately.
Same. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I am the same way.
Yeah.
And I'm such a last minute procrastinator, which is so bad.
Same.
But
I know, so much.
During
so much.
quarantine, I would literally do a post and then immediately post it. like immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. But yeah, so like I would basically all my influencing like photos and things I would take on the weekends and then like have content for the whole week. So I wouldn't have to like do
That's
stuff
smart.
like photo wise before or after work. And then that way I could
Yeah.
like take the weekdays to like edit my stuff, like edit photos and videos, and then like get captions ready because captions are so hard. Like
Oh, yeah.
people underestimate captions, but
Yeah. They're very hard. I feel like that's really smart too, because you can just like do your makeup on Saturday. Take all
Yeah,
the
that is
pictures.
so, yeah,
Don't have
and
to
like
worry
make
about
sure
getting
your
ready.
hair looks good and then like just
Yeah.
take it. I need to do stuff like that. But so within like content creation and everything, you talked about how you mixed both the like design world and the fashion world and kind of created your own like niche within that. But how did you like within the fashion and design communities, you still have like your own niche? So where like how did you find that? What did you like how did you get to your aesthetic, that kind of thing?
okay. So it basically took a lot of like researching a lot of people and like trying to build my own community of people. So I was like engaging and connecting with artists, but I was also engaging and connecting with fashion bloggers. So I was really doing the absolute most with like
Yeah.
trying to connect, engage with so many different kinds of people. Um, and then I lost my train of thought though. What was your question? You said,
Just about your finding your aesthetic and everything.
okay. So, how I found my aesthetic was actually my biggest advice now is to be yourself, and that is when people are going to get like attracted to you and follow you along your journey. I think that is the biggest advice that I wish I would have taken when I first started. I think at the beginning, I was trying to like, I was using other people as inspo, but I was also like trying to be them and like trying to do what
Yeah.
they were doing.
Yep.
But in a way, I just needed to be myself.
Follow your own path. Yeah.
Yes, and I think, well, like at first, I was trying to be like a moody aesthetic kind of person, like the moody girl, but like that's definitely not me and who I am as a person. So once I started like smiling more in photos, because I would do like the bad girl face, you know, like the you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
but then once I started like smiling more in photos and just like show my
Showing your
personality
yeah.
more is when I started to see like growth and like people like loving my content and things like that. So
Yeah.
So really just like following what you want to do and not like trying to conform to other people.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's also,
That's
in
so
my opinion,
important.
just so much less work. Like, it feels like just so much easier to, like, literally be yourself. And I also feel like I've seen, in my opinion, just from, like, watching you, um, but, like,
know what you
even
mean.
with brands, like, this brand trip you just went on, like, these brands align with you so well because of how, like, it's impossible to be like another person when you're being yourself. So you really created this like distinct brand for yourself because it's you. And then like these brands align with you really well. So then it all just works together and it's amazing. Anyway.
Yes. No, I definitely understand what you mean because like okay, this is when like filler pics. You remember when filler pics was like the thing? Like I feel like during COVID,
Yes.
filler pics, everyone was like posting so many filler pics, which a lot of
Yeah.
people still do now, but it's like less common now. But I would like be forcing these filler pics into my feed when like these were not me, and I was like forcing this to
Yeah.
happen, so it was causing more work, like you said. And
Yeah.
so it is a lot easier just to be yourself. And then like photos were happening
Yeah.
so much easier because I was just like smiling because that was like natural. It's more
What you
natural
wanted
for
to
me
do,
to
yeah,
smile
exactly.
than to like have like that
Yeah.
baddie girl face. So
Yeah. Love it. Okay, so something I love to see on your page and stuff is your little community, like Taryn and all your friends who do like similar things to you, either whether that's influencing or whether that's graphic design. And I know you talked a little bit about engaging and stuff, but how did you kind of build that community? Because I think something that in the content creation world, when people want to grow, they hear like collab, like work with people, and they're like, well, literally, how do I do that? So kind of, how did you build that community? I don't know how you met Taryn. Maybe you knew her before, but kind of just how did you build that, and how did you connect with those people?
Okay. So I would say how to build an engaging community is to engage with like-minded people. So like I would just reach out and I would follow, like, comment on people's posts, like genuinely like support other girls and then other girls will support you back. So like if you are being genuine and like actually trying to make friends on the app, then like you are going to build an engaging community of people. That is like probably my number one thing. And then like so Taryn and I, we actually were in the same sorority together, but we didn't really like know each other much. Like we just knew of each other and we like followed each other. But it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
until like December when we met up at a coffee shop that like when things like took off because like we were both like super interested in this like field of work and then we just like always were talking about it and things like that. So we just kind of like hit it off from there. But um, yeah, I would just say like supporting other people is really important, and then like engaging and trying to keep up with other people's lives and just being there for them when they need it is really important.
Yeah, I feel like what we've seen just with like within our side of like the content creation area of Instagram and just social media is like when you are genuine and you put in the effort
Mm-hmm.
and like that you actually care that you will get that back rather than like we've talked about on some episodes about like genuine versus ingenuine messaging. You can kind of tell when it's like a copy and pasted message. That's why I liked
Yeah.
how you said it. You try to make it a little bit more unique, the message that you're sending to a brand, even
Mm-hmm.
like, that's a different aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like how you said like actually support people and like care about what they're doing and stuff like
Right.
Yeah, I
that.
think that's how I found you is through like
Yeah.
you commenting on my stuff, but I also feel like swiping up on stories is a good way too because that's like gets you in their DMs, but it's also not like you're just DMing them like, "Hi, do you want to be my friend?"
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
so I feel like that's a good thing. Yeah, and Alexis, I love your point about I meant to mention that earlier with brands, is because like I think a lot of our listeners who are small business owners get these DMs that are like, "Hey, I love your brand. Do you want to work with me?" from people that like don't follow them. So I love what you said about like making sure it's like genuine and like pointing out what you love about their brand and all that good stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's really important to just like establish a relationship and then they're going to want to establish a relationship back. It's like a mutual thing. If you're nice to them,
Yeah.
then they're going to be nice to you back. So,
Very
Love
true.
it.
Very true.
So you kind of answered this question already, but what does, as far as, well, I guess you have multiple things. You have a lot of things going on, but what would a normal day for you look like? And then like within that, what aspect of that is like the freelancing and like graphic design aspect, since we've already talked about the content creation.
right. So a normal day for me is since like working full time, I have been continuously like waking up pretty early, which I honestly love my mornings. Mornings are really, really important to me now that I've like already started like waking up early. I can't stop. I literally can't because like I just feel so much better and more productive throughout my day if I wake up early compared to when I'm sleeping in.
Yep.
So I will wake up around in between 6 and 7. It varies every day. Sometimes I'll set my alarm, but then other times my body will just like wake up
Wake up.
around that time, anyways. And then I take my dog out on a walk. I try not to be on my phone in the morning before the walk until like afterwards, just so I can like clear my head. If it's like a pretty day, then we'll literally walk around my whole apartment complex. But it also just depends on my mood that morning, how far we walk and things like that. But So I do that first every morning, and then I come back in, make my coffee, either eat breakfast immediately, or like I'll just go ahead and hop on like answering emails or emails. Emails is one thing that always gets backed up for me, just
Yeah.
Yep.
because I also need to separate my emails from my graphic design stuff to my content creation. I think
Oh, yep.
they're all in one right now, so it's very
Mm-hmm.
chaotic. That is one tip. If you are about to start content creation, I would say create a
Make a
separate email.
separate email.
That's what I literally need to do today. Like, I need to do it today.
Right now.
Right now. Because it's so chaotic. But yeah, so I'll do that in the morning, and then I'll either, just depending on if it's like a content day or if it's a like graphic design day, then let's start with like the graphic design day. So I'll first like answer all my emails and things like that, and then either go into like just designing through. I'll look, just depending on like the clients that I'm currently having. So I have like where I'll design like email newsletters or like website banners, and then or I'll have like a day where I'm designing like logos and stickers and like branding kits and things like that. So it just depends on what kind of clients I'm currently having, but it's honestly fun just because it's like different every single day. I love what I do.
Yeah.
And then or it'll be like a content day, and then I'll just go out. Well, okay. Before I go out to take photos, I do a lot of like inspo searching. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll like plan my outfit, plan my location, plan my pose ideas, and then I'll have like I normally have like a Pinterest board for everything, and then I'll like
Yep.
write out like where I'm gonna go, at what time. I even will even look at the location of where it's like um, at compared to the sun, so we know like where the lighting is gonna be, just so like we
Wow.
That is
know,
smart.
just so we know like what time the lighting is going, like
Yeah.
what side of the
Best,
building
yeah.
it's at, and then if that's gonna work out or not. So we do like a lot of planning before we go on shoots, and then yeah, sometimes I'll be out like all day just taking photos. That's my favorite way to go about it, to be honest. Well, now that I came back from a brand trip, I'm gonna have like content for weeks on end.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have so much to edit and post. It's actually crazy, which is honestly a good feeling, so I don't have to like take photos right now.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nice. But when I do, like, I like to batch out my content within like 1 or 2 days in a week.
That's really smart. Yeah. Because I feel like the whole, like, setup for influencing is, like, so much more. I feel like graphic design, it's really just about, like, doing it. Like, you just sit down, you do it, and then it's done. And, like, obviously there's, like, creativity aspects that are, like, involved. But with influencing, I feel like it's so much of the planning
Yeah.
of it, like, to get that content.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I have a
gotta
question that I
to.
just thought of. How do you get over being embarrassed about taking pictures in public?
Oh my gosh. I honestly still get embarrassed. I mean, I'm embarrassed when I do it. I mean, I really am. But, okay, my thought process is like, what is gonna work? Okay, like, for example, my photos when I posted, like, of me in McDonald's, those blew up because I was in a public space.
Yep.
So, like, when I do go out of my comfort zone and
Is it worth it?
it's
Yeah,
worth
like
it.
pays off. Yeah.
It's worth it in the end. So, and you just got to have the mindset of like, no one cares, and you're not going to see them ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not going to see that person ever again, and honestly, they're going to stare at you regardless of what you're doing. Like,
That's
they're going
true.
to stare at
Yeah.
you
That's
if you
true.
are just standing there or if you are taking photos. I mean, they are going to stare at
Yeah.
you more, but I don't know. It's something you have to
They're
work
also
on.
they're not gonna think about it like 10 minutes from then. They're not gonna
No.
be like, that girl was so weird. Like,
Yeah. And I feel like having that plan, like you said, where like you know your poses, you know what you're going to do, like you can just get in, do it, get out and be done. I feel like
Right.
that's probably helpful too. Cause like if you're just like don't know what you're going to do and you're like in the McDonald's, like, then it's like obviously like more stressful than if you like know what's up.
Right. And
So.
also, it helps to have a friend
Yeah.
Totally.
going with you because when I am by myself, it is harder in a sense of like, oh my gosh, like people are going to talk to you more if you are by yourself compared to if you're with someone else, and they're probably not going to say anything to you.
That's a good point.
Right.
So it does help to have a friend, and it's more safe too
Yes, that's very true.
if you're
Yes.
in a
Okay.
weird area.
Yeah. On that same vein, I think that both Alexis and I have had experience taking photos of ourselves / taking photos for Instagram. But what are your like essentials for content creation? Like, are you taking your own pictures? Do you bring your boyfriend? Do you like, what apps do you use? Like, tripods, cameras? Do you use your phone? All that stuff.
So I am ride or die my tripod in the app Lens Buddy.
Yep.
I
so
love
are we.
Lens Buddy. Mm-hmm.
Lens Buddy is everything to me.
It's insane.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Okay, even if someone has my phone taking photos, I would much rather them just have it on Lens Buddy because the clicking.
That's so smart. That is so smart.
Because you
I
don't
love
know if
that.
they're going to be a fast clicker or not.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
I need a lot, so I need Lens Buddy just
I
like
need you to hold it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that helps a lot. And then even in like public spaces, I do like to use my tripod just because I feel more like comfortable knowing if I'm gonna have the shot or not, and also I'm not being
Right.
a bothersome to the other person. I always like feel bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, I didn't want it like that. I want it like this. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, can you just like take one more? I hate asking that. And then
Yeah.
like, sometimes if my boyfriend is with me and it is like a public space, then he will like hold the Lens Buddy app for me. So that does happen on the occasion. If it's like somewhere where you really can't get your tripod in, or if it's like there's too many people, then
Right.
I'll just get the person to hold the Lens Buddy app for me, which does happen
Yeah.
quite often. So-
What apps do you use to edit your photos and all that stuff? Like, what are your go-to apps for all that stuff other than Lens Buddy? Obviously.
Normally just use Lightroom to
Yeah.
edit all of my photos. I've created my own preset and I've just kind of stuck to that. I just change like shadows sometimes or vibrance, just depending on like where
The
I'm at
photo.
and the lighting.
Yeah.
But I normally stick to the same preset. And then I've honestly been using the same preset ever since I really started. I've just kind of like adjusted it a little bit as
Yep.
I go. Right now, it doesn't really have as much like editing. It just has like a little bit of tweaking like here and there.
Yeah.
So my current preset, I normally just use I normally turn down like yellows a little bit. And then like I turn down the saturation of colors a little bit, and then like I don't really mess with the lighting parts unless it's like shadows, just depending on everything or lighting like where I'm at. But
Yeah.
Lightroom is definitely my go-to, and then the app Unum. You probably have heard of the app Unum.
Yep.
I use that for like planning my feed and things like that.
Nice.
So
Love that. Love it.
what
Cool.
do you
Okay,
guys do? You guys
so
use
We
editing?
use pretty much all the same, like
Okay.
what you just said.
Yeah, I use Tezza. I use Tezza to edit my pictures sometimes. Only like mostly for like stories, because I don't really like heavily edited feed posts. I feel like that's like kind of like a trend right now is like not to edit, which let's keep it that way. It's
Right.
way easier.
It is
But
so
for
nice.
story stuff, sometimes Tezza has cool like especially video, like they have cool like effects you can add. But it's a cool app. I love it. But yeah, Lightroom is just the easiest.
Yeah, I use
Easiest way to go.
Lightroom too. Yeah.
Love
Love
it.
me some
I use
Lightroom.
like Visco occasionally just for like easy
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
that's like that's like really quick, like if I'm just in a pinch or something. But honestly, Lightroom's just as easy, so I don't know why I do Visco. But okay, so for our last official question, for anyone that is thinking about going into content creation or influencing, what would your advice be for that person?
So, my advice, if you're wanting to get into content creation, I would say be yourself. I feel like that is the most important thing, and I guess that could sound cheesy, but
it's true.
It's so important, it's so beyond important to just be yourself, be unique, stay consistent with posting and engaging with other people, and responding back to comments and DMs, establishing like a relationship with other people is very important. And then also creating a page where people want to come back to for something. Like they want to come back to your page for because you have good fashion sense, or because I don't know, because you have like savable content. I feel like savable content is the number one way to like grow through social media, to like get on the explore page and get other people like seeing you. So like asking yourself like, why will someone save this photo? Is it because of like your location? Is it because of your clothes? Is it because of your pose? Like, why would somebody be saving this photo? And that is going to be the number one way to like reach other people. And then also with like with a unique perspective and like patience, you will find your way. Like you will find your way, and your time to succeed will come. It'll be your time. So yeah,
I love that so much.
Yes. Okay. Random questions. We kind of always like to choose our random questions like based on our guests. So the first one is, what is your current favorite fashion trend? I know this is like hard. There's so many.
I feel like the number one thing, honestly, that pops into my mind is funky patterns. I'm literally wearing like this funky top right now. But yeah, I think funky patterns is a big one for me. I love like the brand that I just went with, Shop Ariel. They are known for like their funky bikinis. And I love anything that has like a funky pattern to it. And then you can also like express your creativity through like clothes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I love like colors, and I feel like colors is really big right now too. So like funky colors and patterns and mix matching, things like that.
Yeah. My favorite is like sort of the same, like color. I feel like pops of color are like in right now, and maybe it's just because it's the summer, but I hope in the fall it does not go away. But like even just adding like color to an all black outfit, like a colorful like, I don't know, like headband or something, like I just really like that, and I used to not really be a big color person, but I just hope that the pretty colors stay in the stores. I don't want them to go away.
Me too.
Agreed.
I hope the same. Oh my gosh.
For me, mine, I've noticed, I mean, I already loved strawberries, but I feel like strawberries is like something that in fashion and just like everything has been like very a thing right now.
I love that.
And that is very me. So I literally bought a Kate Spade strawberry purse, and I have a strawberry phone case.
Wait, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
I also, I love like the blazer short set vibes that people have been having recently. I feel like that's kind of a trend too. And same thing with like colors on those, or like just like more like fun business casual. I feel like is just amazing. Young
business kind of.
Yes. I feel like it's like getting more like lenient. Thank God, because I don't want to wear, like, a pantsuit. Okay, and then the last random question is, what is your favorite app to use on your phone? It doesn't have to be, like, an editing app or anything. Just, like, what's your favorite app on your phone to use?
I'm going to have to go with Lynn's Buddy. I can't live without her. So Lynn's Buddy it is.
Lynn's Buddy superiority here.
Oh, my God. Lynn's Buddy really is like a transformative app. It really is.
It like, really is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a game changer, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone needs it. Even families need it. Even families.
Literally.
For those family photos.
Everybody needs it. If you are going on vacation and you don't have Lynn's Buddy, you are making a mistake.
Right.
Yes.
Agreed.
Especially giving your boyfriend your phone. I didn't even think about using Lynn's
just
Buddy.
Tell him just to hold it.
Yeah, just hold it, move it.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
That is so smart.
For me, it would probably be Pinterest, just because I feel like it's literally everything to me. I mean, I'm a social media manager for like a cookbook website, and like so I'm literally on Pinterest every single day. So there's that aspect of it, but then also just for my like business, we haven't done the recording before, so I don't know if I have talked about this, but I guess here you go, guys. I'm kind of like starting to think about like new stuff for my business, and Pinterest, like it's like
Inspiration City.
Yeah, it's like literally just a search engine. So yeah, I just love it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm on there every day.
Mine is definitely Spotify. I just love music. I like can't do anything in silence. Like if I am left to be in silence, bad. I'm gonna start being getting anxious. So I just love Spotify. I literally could not live without it. And I could say Instagram or TikTok too, but I will be a little less basic and say Spotify. But yes, okay, Jenni, do you want to go ahead and plug yourself? Tell everybody where they can find you, how they can work with you, if they want to hire you, all that good stuff.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So you can find me on Instagram at Jenni B. Rhodes. That is JENNIB as in Brooke, and then Rhodes, RHODES. And then on TikTok, I am _ Jenni B. Rhodes. And then you can email me at jennybrodes@gmail.com. I'm in the works of getting a website together.
Okay.
That's so exciting. I love websites. I love websites. I love them. I'm like redesigning mine right now. It's so fun.
Congrats on your rebranding. I love it.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Obviously we're going to talk about it more in the beginning of recording, but it's super exciting. Just had a call with Audrey, who we love.
We love Audrey so much.
Every episode we're like, we love Audrey. She's a copywriter. But anyway, thank you. I'm very excited about it.
So pretty.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. You are so amazing.
Yes.
Thank you
So
guys
nice.
so much for having me. I feel so honored
We
to be
learned
on
so
here.
much. Yes, we're so excited. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to leave us a rating and review on wherever you listen to your podcasts, and subscribe to keep up with our weekly episodes.
And then follow us on our Instagram account, Check Your Static Podcast, our personal accounts, Alexis Adams Co. AlexisAdams.co, Katie Creative Co., and Jenni B. Rhodes, and we will talk to you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.